Thank you, Mark, and a big hello from London. An unusual grouping of weekly patterns this past week, and for many of them, a somewhat disappointing one. I'll start with the currencies, and there was a weekly key reversal up last week in the US dollar Turkish lira. And it was no surprise to see a follow through higher on the Monday. But yesterday, well, we had a strong pullback with a daily key reversal down. However, this effect seems not to have lasted, as prices are back up testing the highs once more today. Like I said, and you can see on the chart, this is not a surprise. The next one is an unusual one. A weekly key reversal up last week in ICE EUA carbon futures for December 2025. This had an attempted follow-on higher immediately on Monday, but by the end of the day had seen a pullback into a bearish dark cloud cover pattern and a further move lower yesterday. However, today there has not been so much of a bearish incentive visible, and I'm wondering if the market might be stabilizing. What I can say is that prices are right now caught between two tines of a mid-August to early October bullish shift pitchfork, specifically the upper tine above, which is currently at 80.43. This upper tine capped Monday's market, and the middle tine below, currently at 77.77, which has so far held up today's market. Moving on to other commodities, we had a weekly key reversal up last week in LME 3-month lead. What is more, it was an immediate countering weekly key reversal up last week after the previous week's weekly key reversal down. Now this one has been disappointing, as right from the start of this week prices have moved lower, back towards the congestion, the thin congestion between 2001 to 2003, which has haunted this market for months, and back to where all the tightly packed moving averages live. You see, the key pattern here in recent months has been a sideways rectangle, though we are now seeing a shallow, very shallow bull channel emerging. Watch this space. I covered this market more fully in my weekly metals video commentary, which was published yesterday. Now a controversial one. It is a weekly key reversal up in the EEX German power-based month future. The controversial part is this is only a weekly key reversal if seen on a daily continuous chart, as it contains a gapping move higher, something you may not see in a strict specific named daily futures chart. Now I know I may be opening a can of worms here by citing this, but I do use daily continuous charts. And this one for me has a weekly key reversal up last week. Plus, this week we have seen prices make a satisfactory follow through higher, with a rise to highs not seen since February. Finally, one for the meme and TikTok generation out there to watch, and that was a weekly key reversal down last week in GameStop GME. This came at the top of the recent rise since early September, and in effect the top of the recent move up since the big drop made in June. Prices have, for more than satisfactory follow-on lower this week, pushed below the long moving average, currently at 25 3/4, plus the medium moving average, currently at 25 even, and now looking down to test the short medium moving average, currently at 24 even. In truth, we are starting to run into some support congestion below, between roughly 23 to 24.5, dating from June and July, but a more concentrated support zone dating from late July to early September is down from 23 even down to 22.5 to 22 even zone. It'll be interesting to see how the response of the market is to both of these support zones. As always, I'm happy to answer any direct questions with anyone who's interested. And with that, I'll finish this section from London, and I hope that you found these comments useful.
Thank you for listening and watching this broadcast. This weekly broadcast gives the essential market patterns and consequences. Please be aware of the risk disclaimer posted both at the front and at the back of this broadcast. The copyright is Eddie Toftbeek and ADM Investor Services International Limited. And here comes the final important bit.